Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is Eddie Marcus again. I got an unusual article from a newspaper that I'd like to share with you this time. And I'd like to share with you this picture. It says, I don't know if you can read it, if you can see it clearly. Oh, man. It says, Antipoverty Crusader says he's ready to go to jail for the cause. That's me, the bald-headed by that. But I want to share this with you. Here again, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Marcus. This article was written in September of 1999. Consistent, huh? I want you to know just how consistent God is, because I'm just an instrument. I'm just a tool that's being used. In the spirit of Robin Hood, Eddie Marcus has taken money from the rich and given it to the poor. The article reads, Eddie Marcus, a self-proclaimed anti-poverty crusader in the spirit of Robin Hood, who took, they use the word stole here, but I didn't steal anything, I took it. There's a difference between stealing and taking. Well, who took from the rich and gave to the poor, may be on his way to the dungeon. If the modern-day sheriff of Nottingham, also known as the Ramsey County Attorney's Office, has anything to say about it. Marcus says he deliberately committed a crime, as he has done many times in the past, to bring attention to what he considers the inhumanity of poverty. Ramsey County has charged Marcus with theft by misrepresentation, stemming from Marcus' failure to stop drawing over $3,000 worth of unemployment benefits after he found a job. Marcus, 50, originally from Mississippi, says illegally taking unemployment was the one thing that was open to me at that time. I couldn't think of anything else to do. I mean, I couldn't kill anybody, and as far as talking to the people, I could talk to the poorest people out here, and they don't have any interest in doing anything about poverty. Marcus says he has been trying to draw attention to poverty for over 22 years. He considers poverty as inhumane as slavery. He confesses, I have committed a lot of acts against the government, nothing serious. In 1981, I was in the military, and I accepted a court-martial after I found out some of the things that the government was lying about. That, well, let's go to page 3. Page 3. We get back to that. And this article, look here, on this page it says Marcus already on probation for embezzling. And that again, I didn't embezzle, I took. There's a difference between embezzling and taking. By taking $20,000, he said he gave it all away. Okay. This place played a part in poverty. Breaking laws that played a part in poverty. When Ronald Reagan was in office, he was saying that the budget needed to be balanced, and we all had to tighten our belts. And I found out they weren't trying to reduce the budget. They were just doing other things with the money. So I refused to take orders from the government, and that's why I was court-martialed. When he arrived in Minnesota some 17 years ago, Marcus continued his own brand of protest by refusing to pay parking tickets and other fines. He says, I have been sent to jail several times for parking violations and refusing to pay fines because I feel poor people shouldn't have to deal with that. The people who don't have money they are the ones who are the victims, and the people who have money have no problem paying the tickets. But perhaps his most daring Robin Hood-like maneuver came back in 1991 during the Gulf War, when Marcus decided to take $20,000 from a property management company he worked for in St. Paul. He literally took the money from the rich and gave it to poor people. He says, "I just gave it to people who looked poor." Giving away all that cash took 6 to 7 months, but he managed to unload every nickel. And for doing so, he was sent to the sheriff's dungeon again. He was sent to the sheriff's dungeon again. The courts gave him a year, but he only served a few months when he was released on probation. A probation that is still active and will come into play when he goes to trial over his latest act of poverty protest. Marcus calls himself a social scientist and doesn't affiliate with any particular social agency group because he feels most people address poverty in a way that allows it to continue to exist. He says he keeps doing these things because he wants people to follow the vision and belief that we can conquer poverty. He says most people see the world's resources as a pie that they want a big slice of, a slice bigger than everybody else. And those people convince others to help them get that slice by offering others a job and wages. But he prefers the people who see resources as a pie not to be sliced up and divided out, but rather to be added to by contributing their own work and efforts to the pie so that it grows and grows for everyone's benefit. He says, "I know that most laws that are wrong are still legal, so to change them you have to break the law. I tried for a long time not to break the law by trying to get people interested, but when nobody is interested, it leaves you alone. So you either become a hypocrite or you stay true to your calling. So by me going along and finding some way for me to exist in this poverty is hypocrisy. My game plan was to go and become poor myself. Be amongst them. Let them see me. And let them see where the source of my strength comes from." But because he chose to be poor, and because the case against him is virtually airtight, Marcus is finding trouble securing lawyers who will take his case and champion the defeat of poverty at the same time. He has resigned himself that he will most likely end up with a public defender who will not make a speech about the ills of the poor, and that he will be sent back to jail. But Marcus is okay with that. He says, "I wasn't trying to get away with anything. I was just trying to use this so I could wait till they came for me, and I could tell them why I did it, even though I know it was illegal, and I would probably wind up going to jail. I don't mind going to jail, but I want people to know what's going on." He wants to tell poor people the only way to get out of poverty is to get a better job, but that just leaves a slot for someone else. It does nothing to eradicate poverty. Poor people know they need change, but nobody is going to give it to them. And as long as they will accept anything less than what they deserve or desire, that's exactly what they're going to get. They are never going to get what they are entitled to. Wow. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, this man standing before you right now have done all kinds of things to let you know that there is a God and that he is not afraid to deal with the adversary. He's not afraid to deal with that which has deceived the people, because it is God's will that you wake up and he needs somebody to take care of his business, and I have said yes. I want to thank you so very much for giving me your time. Have a good day.